Peace and positive vibes. April Fool's Day. But have you ever pondered to yourself on where the prank originated? Well, let's look at this radio. Some historians speculate that April Fool's Day dates back to 1582, when France switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, as called for by the Council of Trent in 1563. In the Julian calendar, as in the Hindu calendar, the new year began with the spring equinox around April 1st. Now where the prank comes in, let's look at this now. People who were slow to get the news or failed to recognize that the start of the new year had moved to January 1st and continued to celebrate it during the last week of March through April 1st became the butt of the jokes and hoaxes and were called April Fools. Now, why is this important? Because to the ancients always saw spring around the spring equinox, which is around the ending of March, beginning of April, or it could be later in April. They always saw this time as the new year. And to make it make sense, let's think about it. Around spring, trees, they grow their leaves back, everything is green, it's more warm. The animals who was in hibernation, they are awake now. Okay, you have longer days, all right, longer daylight, and everything is more alive. Okay, it isn't as cold and frigid like in winter. And let's look at this now. At the winter solstice, this is the beginning of winter. In winter, trees lose their leaves. Animals, they hibernate, they go to sleep. Shorter days, and it's cold. You don't even want to come outside because it's so cold. So to the ancients, they always saw this time as a time of death. All right? Whereas in spring was a time of life. And it makes a lot of sense because at the winter solstice, around December 21st, December 22nd, the sun is considered dead. And 3 days later, the sun arose, and it moves 1 degree north and starts to go back on its yearly axis. But it isn't until March, okay, around the spring equinox, where the sun is now fully back on its axis and is marching. Case in point, March, the month of March, is now marching its way into summer. All right, life again. Like I said earlier, the trees now have leaves again. Everything is green. It's warmer. All right, animals who was in hibernation are awake. You want to go outside. In frigid climates where the rivers and lakes was frozen, everything is now lucid once again. All right, you can now go for a swim. You have longer days. So this was always seen as a time of life, whereas the new year has begun. The sun is back on its axis, marching into summer. All right, so this was always the new year. So who the prank is truly on? The prank is actually on you because you don't know when the start of New Year is, which was always in spring. April Fool's Day.